you guys, your voices do not match your faces on my screen.
And your voice is actually not matching your mouth moving.
Yeah,
well, that's why I'm saying, like, we should leave him on. He just doesn't move. He still talks. His voice comes through just fine. And then John can edit the moving lips, like from Saturday Night Live, where the lips are just moving.
I'm not recording a video of just 45 minutes of laughing at me not working.
Everyone, welcome to another episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys. I'm Shane, and it's Sunday night, and it is time for a new topic for the 5 Idiots Talking Toys. Thanks for joining us here on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. We now have some video episodes on Spotify. Spotify's allowed video now, so if you're on the go, you can not only listen to the show, but you can check it out there as well. Please subscribe to the channel, follow us wherever you listen to the show, and comment, please, on YouTube. It'll help our videos get spread to new viewers by having a lot more activity on the videos. So thank you for that. We're going to jump in here with the boys. Charles is asleep. Chris is in the middle of posting things on Rogue 5 Toys for Sale. Redacted Dewback is in his garage, and John Walden is updating his inventory for The Vault. Welcome, fellas.
Thanks for having us, Shane.
We're filming again.
Did I get any of those things correct?
Wake up.
No, I just posted a 9 for sale.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, guys.
All correct.
Chris posted a 9 for sale. Check. Brandon is in his garage. John is at the vault. And Charles was mildly asleep. So 4.5 out of 5.
Is this a Patreon video?
No. Are you talking about patreon.com/5 Idiots Talking Toys? That's what you're talking about?
I forgot the slash, but yes, I am.
John,
Don't forget shopthevaultonline.com.
No one cares.
Bleep that out.
There you there.
What were you saying, Brandon? I'm sorry.
How many hours a day are you at the vault?
The only place where we shop is Rogue 5 Toys, okay? That's first.
I was actually false. I was actually shopping on Shop the Vault online today.
Oh,
you shop. Brandon, you shop everywhere, so that's really...
We have lots of cool stuff on there.
You do. Like, you have the
Vintage Alien?
Mutant Mayhem figures that are haven't even come out yet.
We do.
Oh, I grabbed the wrong beer.
Oh, sucks for you.
Oh, you got the pickle juice one, like Kyle A?
Oh, Kyle with that.
God,
you know what? I love pickles. And
I bet you do.
Yes,
I like pickles too, but I don't want to sit down and drink a pickle beer.
Like, even when I was on keto, they tell you, like, pickle juice has a lot of electrolytes in it. The pickle beer was one of the worst things I've ever tasted in my life.
Every time I burp, I can still taste it.
so
the
I'll
burns.
release this now. He gave me one at the IC Con.
Right.
A pickled beer.
Mm-hmm.
I had one sip. I hid and I threw it in the garbage. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
So
I couldn't drink it.
here's my thing, and this is what I told him. If you want to drink a pickle beer, one, singular,
Right.
I'm fine with that. That's fine. He's walking around with a 12-pack.
A 12-pack.
I'm loving it. He's drinking numerous plural, 10 of them. It's how can you drink 10 things of pickle juice?
And he's smiling while he's drinking.
Right. I was on a bachelor party trip to Montreal, and I had already heard of pickle shots. I mean, this is now like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago, but I had heard of them before that. And it's what is it, Jameson? It's typically like Irish whiskey, which I do not like.
Pickleback shot.
Yeah, so I was like, nah, I'm not having that. Even pickles I like, but I'm not drinking Irish whiskey. And I recently asked the bartender, like, what else do you serve as a pickleback? And they named a couple other options. So I got one. I forget what it was. It was, bourbon or something, Jim Beam or something, or Jack Daniels. And it was delicious. It was good. But that pickleback beer, whatever that was vile.
Gross.
Does Pickleback sing that song "Photograph"?
And it's all photographs.
Photograph.
Yeah, it's all photographs of garlic and mustard seeds and vinegar. Yes.
Don't forget the dill.
Is that a new banner for our show? Don't forget the dill. All right, so we're here. It's Sunday night. You may be watching this on a Tuesday at 3:00 in the morning because you can't go to sleep, but it's Sunday for us. So this is our podcast. Thanks for watching. Our episode tonight is not a secret because it's in the description. John, what is it?
We're gonna be talking about something very sincere. We're all familiar with the 5 stages of grief? Is it the 5 stages of grief?
It was the 5 stages of grief. That episode last week when Chris opened up Uncle Victor's graded sale skiff.
Right. Well, this is the 7 stages of collecting.
Right.
The 7 stages of collecting.
I love it. I love this.
Oh, Charles is going to have to go to a second hand. I love it. He never knows.
Just like Festivus? Is this the 7 stages?
Usually it ends on the one hand.
Yeah.
This one had to go to this hand.
Yeah, he never goes to the other hand.
This is 7 stages of Festivus.
Yes. So there's John's going to do the feats of strength where he fights his father. So it's going to be great. Later in the episode, tune in, please.
Yeah. I have to be sure to take his cane away from him.
You know, I wanted to ask you, Brandon, because you brought up the feats of, well, not the feats of strength, but you brought up Festivus in the past. Do you actually have a poll?
Do I have a poll?
This is not 5 Idiots After Dark on Patreon. This is
What
a
are you
regular
talking
episode.
about?
Yeah, come on. Let's relax here. Come on.
Well, it's okay. Wildminsters, you know what day Festivus is,
I have a
right?
poll. I mean, I don't have a poll, but you know.
We're a friendly.
I don't have a poll in the sense that you think I have a poll. You know what the date Festivus is, right?
Christmas.
False.
No, I know that. I'm just making it up.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know. Charles,
I have
do
no
you know
idea. I've heard of it, but I have no idea.
what date on the calendar is it?
I'm not telling Brandon.
Ingenious Day.
End the episode and just don't tell him.
Ingenious Day.
Okay.
Ingenious Day. Indignus Day.
What?
What?
All right,
I'm
John.
just
John,
making up-
you're my
making up new
reliable
holidays.
go-to. John, you know what day Festivus is. Come on.
Is it in
Honestly,
Georgia? No.
I don't remember.
He won't know.
January
He's not going to
2nd?
know. It's not Georgia related. He's
It's
not
New
going to
York,
know.
Second?
it's
I
New
can't
York
remember.
City related.
It's Christmas.
Queens.
It's Christmas Eve's Eve.
Correct. Yes. December 23rd
He's
is
searching it on
Festivus.
his phone. Do you see him looking down? He
I'm
couldn't
so-
look any further down. He was looking so down.
I'm message Corey Bruneau right now.
Corey knows what
Corey
day it is.
Ellington?
I
Yes.
asked Corey.
Yes. December 23rd is Festivus.
Thanks, buddy. And by the way, you're not getting that viewer.
No, you're not getting the alien viewer with the burn marks on the side. Yes. Am I the only one of the 5 who actually has a Festivus poll?
Yeah.
Do
I
you
do
really
not have
one?
a Festivus poll.
I thought it was hilarious. I was building one of those closets for my daughter or my son, I forget who, and I had one extra pole to hang clothes on. And so I got a cardboard box. I wrapped it in wrapping paper and I stuck a pole right through the center of it, and it just stands up, and I get it out of the crawl space. Just kidding. Out of the closet every December 23rd and stick it in my living room, and I laugh, and and the rest of the people in my house think I'm an insane person. But there was an extra pole from a project, and I said, this is a Festivus pole. It's aluminum. It's got a high strength to weight ratio. I don't put tinsel on it. I find that distracting, and I celebrate in my own way.
Did you you guys talk so much crap about me having too much garbage? I don't have a Festivus pole.
You
Okay.
should.
No, but you have a training ball.
I have a box that's
I'm gonna send that to Shane, and it's gonna go on top of the pole.
I have a box that's this big, and it's got a aluminum pole in it from a closet system. Yeah. All right. Let's jump into this episode. The topic is
Please.
The topic is actually a good topic, and it's also funny, right? When John sent us this list, I was dying laughing.
So this is the 7 stages of collecting.
Yes.
7 stages.
Okay, what's number 1?
Number 1.
The first stage.
Buy it all. And it's funny because we've suggested in many of our episodes to newer collectors, pick a focus, whether it be loose figures. I mean, you really should start with loose figure, but loose graded. I mean,
whatever you guys doing,
and go with it.
Be patient. Have a focus.
Right. But
don't rush, stuff like that. But no matter what, usually stage 1, buy everything.
They claim everything.
Buy everything.
Everything.
And I feel like they need to do this in order to figure out what they like the most. That's why they do this. So everyone will buy a die cast, a loose graded, a mock, a vehicle, a play set, and then they're like looking around. They're like, okay, I don't really like these, and then it kind of like narrows it down more.
Yeah,
after they just spent $20,000 in 2 days,
right? Well, you know, here's the problem: is that people get into vintage Star Wars because of the nostalgia of it, and while they want to try to stay focused, they see other things in other lines, and they're like, "Oh my god! Either I had that, or I always wanted it, and nobody would buy it for me, so now I'll buy it for myself." Brandon,
it's also like a high. Like they get a high from just they beat everybody else, and they claimed it first.
Yeah,
I always called it. It's called the fever. You get the fever, and you just start buying everything.
Well,
Brandon still has the fever.
It's
if you take Brandon's temperature,
Brandon's had the fever for a long time. Like right now, Michael Albertson has the fever.
Fever.
He buys.
I got a fever.
Anything,
and the only prescription is more Star Wars.
Well, he started buying Ninja Turtles too, right, Charles?
He's buying everything.
Yep.
I mean, he's going to be like you, where you got tired of it in like 14 seconds.
Right.
And you got rid of all of it.
Well, no, it actually took 18 months for Charles to give up on Ninja Turtles.
He gave up because he was waiting too long.
Except that all of his Ninja Turtles were at CAS for 18 months.
Yeah.
I still have my own.
At least in his defense, not meaning Charles's and Michael's, is that he has a lot of the stuff and he's actually upgrading. So he does a lot of upgrading. So if he started at a 70, he buys a 75. Now he buys an 80, and he keeps selling off like the lower end. So, you know, he does recoup some of it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you're right.
Somebody else that does that too, Shane.
I think typically, like, especially
Shane
with the Star Wars.
The last time Shane sold on Rogue 5 Toys, I think it was 2017.
Correct. No, you know what? I don't
he
do
posted
as much
something today. He posted what was it?
Is my mic on?
A Lego?
I can't hear you.
I don't do as much upgrading as you think I do, but I would like to. I'm at the point where I would like to upgrade some pieces, but
you ever drive in New York City, John?
Yes.
You gotta be really aggressive. You can't.
Yeah.
You lane change whenever the hell you want to. You turn right, you turn left, you cut someone off. It doesn't matter.
John spoke his first word in 3 episodes, and then he gets cut off, and he just stops. You have to just
He does the Georgia driving. He's like
over talk Shane.
He's driving 45 in a 55. Everyone's passing him. He wants to turn right. Someone's going 90 miles an hour next to him. He doesn't change lanes. He stays there. He waits. No, this is New York City, buddy. You need to go.
I'm in the tri-state. I can't stop talking.
All right, John, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
I was just going to say, I think with Star Wars collectors, Shane, you want to come back in here?
No.
Can you keep your mouth shut while I say something?
I loved watching your face as I removed my...
Oh, God, so much quieter.
So I think especially like with Star with Star Wars figures is everybody wants to collect all of them, right? Because it's told us that since we were 7 or 8 years old.
Collect them all.
Collect them all, right?
Yeah.
So they want to collect them all. And like Shane was saying earlier, you see that stuff and then you get sidetracked because they have play sets, they have micro machines, they have the die-cast stuff, they have all these variants and stuff
Plates,
like that. But we'll get
cups.
into variants later. But yeah, you just want to buy it all. You just want to buy it all. Cups.
Bifolds. Hair combs.
Yeah. That's all I wanted to say. But yes, stage 1 is buy it all. Buy it all.
We gotta do 6 more stages.
Yes.
So is it safe?
Go to stage number 2.
Is it safe to say what stage 2 is?
What is stage 2?
Stage 2 is my favorite, honestly. Because this is you lead from stage 1 to stage 2. Because you start buying stuff that you don't even know about, and it leads you directly into stage 2.
Publicly ask stupid questions.
Congratulations, guys. I didn't think we'd actually make it this far.
He didn't think we'd make it to stage 2 of a podcast.
But yeah, I see this a lot. I think we all see this a lot on the pages.
I like when someone will post a picture of, and I'm just going to do this. What's the price of this boba? I paid $150. Is that good or bad? Like, to me,
how did I do?
To me, that's a stupid question because you want to know why? You already spent the money. If anything, post a picture and go, what do you think this is normally worth? I'm thinking about purchasing it. So when they tell you $150 overpriced, then you don't buy it.
No, and that goes with the first. No. This goes with stage 1 because those people.
He's going back. You're going back.
I'm going back. You can't sit there and post a picture of something because by that time somebody else will claim it or will butt you in line for the collection that you're about to walk into.
I was more about talking about like walking into a store. I wasn't really thinking about like groups. I'm talking about like a store atmosphere.
Let's go back to there you go, stage 2.
Thank you. Please, thank you. I'm going forward. Brandon's going backwards.
Usually it's the people that buy an entire lot of stuff and they ask if they got raped or not on it.
My Princess Leia has brown hands. Do you remember if she ever had brown hands before?
Is that a variant?
Or it's not even if it's a variant. They say, I don't remember her having brown hands. Did she have brown hands?
Wait, one of our own 5 here asked that question this week. Do you remember if this Leia had painted boots?
Wow.
That was a legit question.
And there's the difference, though. Shane didn't ask it on a page.
Right.
He asked it in the circle of trust.
Which is even worse.
No trust.
Well, there's no trust because Shane.
Trust.
Brandon
Shane's
just put it
still
out
on
to
stage 2, obviously.
No trust in this circle at all.
I used to tell my son
painted legs Maydeen.
When he had a question that was like just ridiculous or whatever, and we were in public, and he asked it, I would say, pull him aside and say, son, that's an at-home question that you need to ask.
Ridiculous.
Or that's an at-home statement.
What's stage 3?
We're done with stage 2?
Yeah.
We're not done with stage 2.
How much more are we going to get into?
John, you're talking too much. Fine. You're talking too much. Can you go to stage 3?
Well, it's funny though. He's off the show now. It's funny because when you're a more seasoned collector and you see some of these novice questions, you're like, you either roll your eyes or you're like, oh yeah, you've seen this question a million times. But you do kind of remember asking questions like that yourself at some point in the past.
Shane's the extender.
No, I don't.
He loves extending.
Do you have any chrome extensions?
If you're brand new, you don't know who to ask.
No, if you're brand new, but there's still a big difference between asking a question saying, hey, what does this normally cost? Or B, is this real or fake? Than saying, hey, I just bought all of this garbage. How did I do?
Bad.
Oh, Chris hates How did I do?
Oh, I can't stand it.
My hands were shaking.
And I get messages too from people who will buy collections, and they'll be like, "I just paid $900 for this. How did I do?" They're sending me now 37 pictures. I'm going to sit there and look through 37 pictures of my life to tell you what I think it's going to be worth.
You're like
have a
vintage
podcast.
Star Wars customer service.
We have a podcast. You have to do that.
Yeah.
God,
You're representative of this
Sorry,
party.
Chris, it goes
this
with-
is
goes with
made
the
in
territory.
China, Hasbro.
I just want to acknowledge that John hooked
Is that
me.
Hasbro?
Yeah,
John hooked
Retro.
me,
Looks pretty
hook,
good to
line,
me.
and sinker. He was like, "Stage 2? We're done with."
Look
I
how
don't think we're
terrible that
done
thing
with
looks.
stage 2. I say something. Charles was like, "Shane, you're going backwards."
That
stage
thing looks,
3.
it totally looks like the original.
God
I
damn
know.
it, Shane!
It really does.
Stage 3. Go ahead, John.
Sell the regret purchases. After
Yeah.
asking the stupid questions, you find that maybe
Why did I buy that?
I shouldn't have bought that. Why did I buy that?
Why did I buy that?
Yeah.
What am I going to do with this? I don't even like this.
Right, and this
And most of
isn't
the time, you can't
about
even sell it.
this isn't about overpaying or anything. It could be, but
Yeah,
this is literally just why did I buy a
USB.
Empire Strikes Back pitcher, iced tea pitcher? You know, like where does that fit into my collection? You know,
Shane, you must have a lot of these.
what's that? Iced tea
Stage
pitchers.
3.
Stage 3.
No regret purchases.
You're
Yeah.
definitely a stage
No, I
3.
like it.
Shane doesn't regret any purchases. He doesn't. Have you seen a thumb drive come up for sale?
This is something that
Ooh.
Charles would wipe his behind with and not think twice about it. I like it.
I would step on that if I saw
Yeah.
that on the side. On the
I like
sidewalk.
it. I like it. Brand new, old stock,
Oh,
never
God,
used.
here we
I like it.
Can we do a fit like podcast stage? Because Shane's on the I'm showing a win every second I can. Every second he can. He's showing a win.
It's a win.
This is our Sunday episode, Shane.
So to close out stage 3, are they generally losing money on that? Is it? I mean, I guess it depends on what the market is at the time.
99%.
I'm gonna say most of the time they're losing money on that.
Yeah.
You know, screw me purchase. Why did I buy that?
Yeah.
Right, because it's the likelihood is that they didn't get a great deal on it. They probably claimed something and bought it impulsively without really considering the price.
Or during COVID, where
Yeah.
stuff was super high and now it's come back down to earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So stage 4, you get past the regret purchases. You try to focus yourself a little bit. And then once you're in a channel of items, you still feel the need to expand, right? So here's stage 4. John?
Search for variants.
We've all been there, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
Definitely.
satisfying enough, but now I need to get every single hair color to Luke Farmboy.
And you end up with 38
I need the
Luke Farm
blonde.
boys.
I need the light brown. I need the chocolate
Right.
brown. I need the dark
The
brown.
mocha.
I need the orange. I need
Strawberry blonde.
I need the olive. I need it all.
The 16 faces of the B-wing pilot.
16 face. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Right. Don't forget
I've
those.
looked that up. That's completely fake.
It's not fake.
Yo,
How dare you?
It's totally real, Charles.
Fake.
It feels real to me. Damn it.
It's not even on.
Oh, did his internet cut out again? Big surprise.
John, you remember that guy with the pro wrestling who goes to the pro wrestling? I don't want to hear it's fake. It's real to me.
Yeah.
It's not on Google. You can't Google 16 faces of a B-wing pilot. It's not there.
One day you will.
It's fake.
I can't
It
do
is
this
not.
show
Yeah.
if Charles
During
is going to
stage
move around.
8.
I can't do it.
What's stage 8? Like he's in space.
Stage 8.
Stage 8.
Stage 8 is
The
when you
16
make up
faces of the
16
B-wing
faces of
pilot.
your favorite figure.
Exactly. He's living in some other world.
Yeah. So search for variants. Anybody who's got a focus figure has definitely done that. Anybody who's got is doing a run, a loose, complete run of whatever quality, they get it filled up. They get their last figure, their 90-second figure, whatever it is, and they got to keep going. So then
this is also where the new variants get made up, like the short V Gonk, the metallic or the dull metallic Death Star droid, and
green-haired Leia,
and the green limbs Chewbacca. Like this is
leading the short V revolution. He was in charge, in front. Everyone who followed him lost money.
Just like if you follow John Rolla, you lose money. But yeah, so like stage 4, this is when they start searching for new stuff, thinking that they're the first person to ever think of these things. Meanwhile, it's been thought of 100 times over the last 30 years.
Right.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But if you do go with the known variants, John, it is fun to get those real variants.
Yeah, of course, the real ones, not the fake ones.
Yeah.
Like the short V, that's a real one.
Fake ones.
It's totally real.
John, it's fake.
They
sold for $100 and something. Now
it's a completely different mold.
It's a different
John. No one cares about molds anymore. That's over.
It's a different metal mold at the factory.
Killed. Someone threw bleach on a mold. It's done.
It's not like it's a degraded. It's not like the freaking Gonk degraded and then his little V got shorter.
No, but no one cares. It's over.
It doesn't matter if no one cares. It's a real variant.
It's like blue snaggletooth.
That's probably the realest variant.
No dent and toe
ripped off
dent.
4 people. I mean, it's over by now.
Can we have what's the stage 5 variant?
I sold 2 Gonks and they were in a deal or no deal format. I had no control over the bids.
What's the stage 5 variant?
John?
There we go.
No. Exactly.
Develop a focus figure.
So
now,
after you
should be
get
stage
through
1.
the run, right?
Yeah, this should actually
0.
be stage 1,
well,
but it's never stage 1 to anybody.
No, you could have pictured it though. People get through the run, the loose run. They got a couple of variants they heard about that sound cool. All of a sudden, they need to focus somewhere, right? They need to get away from the whole run and focus on one area. Focus figure,
like B-Wing in the stupid 16 faces.
That's right.
And Prune Face, where everyone keeps messaging me saying, did you know that there's a variant? There's an orange eye patch and there's a yellow eye patch. And then a guy goes, I think there's a green one too. You know what? Keep believing what you guys want. Yeah, just keep believing it.
Brandon told me there was a green butthole Prune Face.
Green butthole. Oh,
yeah.
Well, it's balloon knot.
That's what it was, right? Green balloon knot, right?
Green balloon knot.
Yes, correct.
What's great about Star Wars is like if you have a focus figure, you're gonna have plenty of, if you have a focus figure, there's plenty of things to choose from.
What?
Right?
What was that?
I don't know, but while John is describing this, I want to see what Charles is up to. He's doing neck rolls and yoga poses and massages.
My neck is killing me.
Yeah. Oh. Well, you got to develop a focus figure. That's why.
We've been on stage 5 for about 47 minutes.
False. All right, go ahead.
False. But anyway, so with the focus figure, there's plenty of stuff out there, right? You can buy a cup with a picture of a B-Wing on it.
Oh, God, here we go.
I'm just saying. So you don't have to collect all 96.
No, I'm saying
a focus figure.
I'm saying here we go because Shane's gonna start pulling out all his.
Oh,
yeah,
he's gonna pull out his toilet brush.
More wins of the week.
His Bausch.
You can have
toilet
stuff like
brush.
this, right? B-Wing that came out in '96.
He'll be flashing us all over the place.
There's a difference.
90% of Shane's wins are actually all my whiffs.
John, do you have your focus figure? Is the B-Wing?
Yes.
Do you just focus on the figure and then the ship, or do you get every freaking thing that has a B-Wing plastered on it?
I don't get everything, but I've got a couple of posters where the B-Wing is prominent.
Would you buy a B-Wing itty bitty?
Oh my!
Yeah, I would. I would buy a B-Wing itty bitty.
It's a Star Wars Celebration exclusive.
Oh my!
Shane,
this is not wins of the week, Shane.
Shane, you have a disease. You need medication.
My God.
If I saw
right.
Leia Bush on the side of the road, I would punch her in the face. Honestly, I like Leia Bush. I can't stand her now from all the stuff you have. You make me.
Yeah, she's actually like a cool character, but like it just goes too far.
Well, all I do is buy stuff that she's on. That's it.
Stick to the vintage stuff. Don't buy a plush doll that you
You
see.
grew up with Power of the Force 2, which is the worst piece of line ever. Don't tell me vintage.
You have a 2022 Funko Pop. What are you going to do with that?
There he
How
goes.
dare you? How dare you make me show this? How dare you?
But what are you going to do with that? I'm not buying a prune face one.
40th anniversary.
Who cares?
How dare you?
Do they even make a prune face one?
No, of course not. Who wants that, Chris?
No. No, I don't.
All right, so develop a focus figure. John, you were describing how it's all over the map. You know, some people are pretty focused on that figure.
You described it already. We're done.
Yeah, some people are all over the place with tchotchkes, you know.
Yeah. But there's plenty of tchotchkes to be had if you have a focus figure.
Oh, it's tchotchkes and a half. My God.
Yeah. I mean, Star Wars has been producing stuff for, 45, 46 years now.
Yes.
I love Stage 7.
Where did Charles go?
He lost interest.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he lost internet.
Well, it's lose interest.
One of the
lost.
two. Stage 6 is here, John.
Yeah. When you become like Christopher and lose interest.
Correct.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
I lost interest more into the TV shows and all the garbage movies that come out. Not so much the actual toy line. It's more of like the new content that they put out. I'm just not interested in it whatsoever.
Yeah.
I had a friend that I was hanging out with today, and he said, "Oh, I haven't talked." He's like a casual Star Wars fan. He's not a collector or anything. He goes, "Oh, I haven't talked to you about Ahsoka," and he couldn't even remember the name. He's like, I haven't talked to you about that new show." I'm like, "Ahsoka," and he's like, "Yeah." The most boring thing I've ever watched, and I was, and I told you guys he was one of the guys who is not a Star Wars collector and came to me and said that Andor was one of the best TV series he's ever watched, like of anything.
God.
He hated Ahsoka. He said, "I didn't watch Rebels or whatever it's called." He goes, "They didn't tell you that you needed to know the characters." He goes, "It was so boring. I didn't know anything about anything that was going on."
Yeah, it's stupid.
And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I said they told you didn't need to watch Rebels, but you really did." So
speaking about losing interest, do you know how like you guys have all been on the pages now for a bunch of years? Yeah. Do you know how many guys that were so active like 2-3 years ago and now you don't see them at all anymore? At all.
Yeah.
And it's like it's weird. Like sometimes I'll see a name pop up and I'll be like, "Oh my God, how did I forget that guy? He used to buy everything for the last 3 years. Now you haven't heard of him in like a year."
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
all their money from COVID dried up, and now they can't buy stuff. And now they go back to work, and now they got a big pile of crap that sits somewhere, and they got to get rid of it.
Overpriced.
So,
yep.
I haven't heard
who's got room for this crap?
I only heard it from our show. We said it probably like a year ago, like a while ago. The flippers are dead. Mm-hmm. They're dead. They're not on there anymore.
Yeah.
All those old school flippers, done.
Well, I'm thinking of the people that you're probably talking about, Chris, and I'm thinking there's a pattern there. A lot of those people are people who had some disposable income. They're people who bought hard and bought fast at the beginning of COVID.
Oh, yeah.
And
they use all the Biden bucks.
That too. But there are people that had money that they could spend on it without really impacting their family or whatnot, or their income for their household. And, it was a hobby for 2 years and COVID wound down and they're like, screw it. I'm done. I'm on to something else now. Where the people that were collecting during COVID, where they were actually spending dollars that mattered, they weren't going as fast and hard. They're still collecting now to some degree. So the people who were in the first year of COVID, spending like $100,000 total on Star Wars crap. Yeah, they burned out real fast. So,
What's number 7, Shane?
number 7.
This is my favorite
final
one.
stage.
This is my favorite one.
The
It
final
is.
stage.
Love this one.
Yippee-doo!
This is by far the best one. Is when you see just like a week before they spent so much money buying everything, and now it's all back up for sale again because they've changed their mind and lost interest like that.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
But why did they lose interest in it though? I just don't know.
And very fast.
You want me to tell you why?
It's very fast.
Nobody collects forever. Nobody.
Yeah, but these people collected for 5
Yeah.
minutes.
I don't really believe that, Charles.
Everyone sells everything.
Yeah, but these people collected for like 5 minutes and they sold everything.
Everybody sells. Who?
Yeah, but
How long have you been collecting, Charles?
these people collected for 5 minutes.
I've sold my collection 900 times.
Right, but how long have you been collecting?
30
It
years.
was little. Who knows?
Yeah, but why'd you buy it all back if you're, I don't understand.
Because it's a fever.
Brandon, about
It's a fever.
5 years from now, I'm going to start a whole loose vintage Star Wars collection. I'm going to have veins
5
all
minutes
over
from-
me. So happy buying them all, and then I'm going to sell them all again.
5 minutes from now, you're gonna go buy them. You did the same thing. You're already buying another collection.
Yeah, and I'm going to sell all of that, I'm sure. Everybody does. Everyone does. Everyone.
I don't really know about that. I don't really believe that. Not
Shane?
everyone.
Okay, Shane. He doesn't.
No, but I think the people that don't have a focus. I mean,
John, Chris, me. Now you have Brandon selling stuff. The only one that's left, he's on an island all by himself. There's no one else there. It's Shane. There's no food. There's no water. There's nothing. He's just standing on an island.
he's eating Leia Bouche microchips.
He's not going to make it.
We're having another baby, so my collection room went to nothing. I don't have anywhere to display my stuff.
Well, the reasons don't matter.
It does matter.
No, it doesn't.
Why
If
doesn't
you
it
sell
matter?
it, you sell it.
No, it's not. There still has to be a reason why you're selling it because number 6 is losing interest.
Everybody
I didn't
has-
lose interest.
they
I'm
either
selling
sell
it because I have
buy
another.
something,
I have another
resell
kid.
it. Everybody sells for a reason, but in the end, they sell. They're going to sell in the end.
False.
I'm telling you, Shane's on an island. He's eating coconuts. There's like nothing else but coconuts. It's just
Look
him.
at all that stuff behind him. He's gonna sell. My God.
He doesn't sell anything. I haven't seen him sell a freaking thing.
He sells his
Shane,
his
no, he
extra-
doesn't.
Shane is the guy who bought all this stuff during COVID, and then when it comes time to sell it, he's still going to be on COVID prices. Not going to realize that everything is down 50%.
He's not selling. I'm telling you, Shane is in love with Star Wars. He made a couple babies with it. He's married, happily married. He ain't divorcing Star Wars. He's with it.
So I've been through that one time because I did not collect as early as you guys did. I only started collecting, like 2014. And that was around when my daughter was born. So I remember that. I remember collecting, having a baby in the house, and sharing that with her as she grew up. And then my son was born. The one time I did that was when I was collecting Modern, which is what I started with, which was Black Series. And I was very passionate about it. I hunted down every not only exclusives. I mean, those are legit pieces for the release of the the releases of the collection. I was hunting down variations of packaging and stuff, like the way that people do it with vintage. I was hunting down ridiculous 3 different rays, one with the staff, one with the lightsaber, one with a clean BB-8, one with a dirty BB-8, like stupid stuff like that. And I got to that point
those are
one.
variants?
Yeah. There were paint apps.
Oh,
I got
wow.
to that point one time where I said, you know what? Enough. Hasbro, it's COVID now. Hasbro is killing the collectors of this line because they're releasing so much stuff, so many packaging variants. Not even that, like exclusives with different stores. And you couldn't go to the stores. So you couldn't hunt down a Walmart exclusive in the middle of COVID because the stores around me had nothing. I just gave up. So I had to come to grips with stopping with a certain line, selling it off. It took 6 months to sell it off. That's how much I had. I was selling it weekly, and it took 6 months to get rid of it all.
That's not bad though. 6 months, honestly.
These are the same shelves. I know you can't see them all. I have 6 of these bookcases behind me. They were full with the boxes turned sideways. I was only seeing the side of the boxes. That's how many I had, and I had piles on the floor. Eventually, I said, "That's it. I'm done.
Complete garbage."
So I sold it all, and I actually did really well because it was still very, hot. The line at the time
You sold at a perfect time, Shane.
I did.
A perfect time.
And that's what got me into vintage. I had money to spend, when I was done with that, more than I had put into Black Series, and here I am. So, but I did that one time. That's it.
Everybody sells their collection.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone who sells their collection, but that's not true because for the most part, everyone rebuys it back.
Well, yeah, and then you restart it again, but you sell in the end.
Well, I do laugh though that early on in this series of this podcast, Chris would show notebook, writings and notebook notes he kept and stuff of his early collection and how he had to sell it at some point in his life. And how sorry he was he didn't have those pieces again, and here he is again. Cycle number 2.
Everybody sells.
Yeah,
the thing.
The first time though, I sold everything, everything, and then I slowly started to recollect weeks later. This time, did I sell
weeks later?
Yeah, weeks later. Yeah,
you sold everything, and then 2 weeks later, you're like, I'm gonna buy it back.
I legitimately started doing, but no, that's when I got into loose grading. So I sold off all of my mocks when I was getting divorced because she was trying to take half of it. And then I sold off my mocks, and then I got into loose grading. And then that's when I started doing the loose grading. And then I was into that ever since. But again, I have a baby coming. I was able to display my Toxic Limbs Bosk, my removable rocket Boba Fett. I can't do that right now. You know where it's going? In a box upstairs in my attic. Do I really think $200,000 worth of items to sit upstairs in the attic is justifiable? No, I don't.
I hope your attic has AC.
Well, yeah, my whole house is spray foam, so everything kind of keeps its keeps the temperature. But the point is that I didn't want to put a $200,000 toy collection up in the attic to not see it, because I always said I'm going to collect because I want to see it and enjoy it. If I can't see it and enjoy it, I don't need it. I never felt the need to need something. I just wanted it. So if I can't see it, then I don't need it. That's why.
Sold it.
That's why. Not all of it. Not all of it.
Sells.
Not all of it, Charles. I have a lot of.
He just
stuff
said he's got a couple boxes in the attic that he doesn't see, but he still has them in the attic.
Right. Yes, but not like the Toxic Limbs Bosk and a removable rocket Boba Fett. I just can't justify keeping that into a box.
And forgive me, I know it's not on the same level as you, Chris, but what the statement that you just said, if I can't see it, what's the point? That's where I got the time that I sold. When those boxes had the figures facing forward and I had to start turning them.
And it was cool, yeah.
And all I was seeing was the red stripe with a number. I said, now we're in trouble. Now we're done.
Yeah.
Because now my kids used to come in while I was working in here, whatever. My kids would come in here and they would stand here like it was a museum and look at all the figures
stare.
And they would read the names. They knew the names before they could even read. Once I had to start turning those boxes and they couldn't see the figures anymore and I couldn't either, I said, we're done. What's the point now? Now I'm looking at nothing. Yeah, for real. All right, so that was our fun run through. That was a John Walden special.
That was the final stage of collecting. But then stage 8.
Uh-oh.
The unstated stage.
This was not in the list.
Not on the list. Buy it all back.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, start it up again.
Buy it all.
Start it up again. Because literally, right when I sold off all of my mocks when I was getting divorced, I was literally buying loose graded items within 2 weeks later. I moved back into my parents' house, into the small little bedroom. I had my mattress on the floor. I didn't even have a mattress in a bed frame. I was on the floor, and I had a box of loose graded figures I started buying. It's so ridiculous.
Right. But then, the good thing about that story is 3 weeks into that situation, you had your bed propped up on acrylic.
I put acrylic.
All right. So that's a fun look and a discussion on the stages of collecting that we all know.
Chris was living in his mother's basement collecting toys.
Upstairs. We don't have a basement. Yeah.
Yes, he was collecting toys at his mother's house. Yes, it's a tale as old as time.
Tale as old as time.
We used to joke with John when we started this show because he was collecting Star Wars in his own basement because he was so magnanimous about sharing his home with his family. Yes, very good. All right, so folks, thanks very much for tuning in for another episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys. We went over the 7, then 8. Did Charles count them off to 8?
No, Charles.
Charles, go ahead. Count us
He's
off.
got the 7.
Let's say buy it all. Publicly ask stupid questions. Stage sell regret purchases. Search for variants. Develop a focus figure. Other hand, lose interest. Switch hands, please. Lose interest. Sell it all. Move into your mother's basement. Buy it all back.
Start all over again.
Yes. All right. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys. Please check out our Patreon, patreon.com/5 Idiots Talking Toys, for exclusive content that we release only to our patrons, as well as sneak previews of any collections that will go for sale on Rogue 5 Toys, and sneak previews to episodes just like these. We'll see you next time on 5 Idiots. Guys, have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you soon.
May the toys be with you.
Redacted do back.
Buy it all back.